later. Now everybody will know. See? Let me say welcome to the 16th annual confab called the Global Sciences Congress. If you will remember, 2 years ago, I came out of the closet and took full responsibility for all of the crop circles in England. I think it's time to confess. Last year, I told you I was halfway through my midlife crisis, and I'm working on 60% now. But this year, I want to say this, and I want you to hear me again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Now, it's been bothering me for 7 months. But now we know that I was legally correct. It was just an improper relationship. Please keep that in mind. This afternoon, we will try to bring you up to speed on some things that the way we do it here. If you're new, if you aren't, you know it already. First thing we're going to do this afternoon, after I tell you a little of the rigmarole, is we will introduce some of the last day's speakers, of Sunday speakers, so you'll get to know who they are, and you will know them for the next 4 days. You can talk to them, you know a little bit about them, because I think it's so hard to wait 4 days after you've been here before you go on and people don't know who you are. So the Sunday speakers, I hope they're all here to be introduced, to give you 3 minutes of what they are, who they are, and what they plan to do. Now, this is a science conference, you know, so we want to give you a little science to get it started off. These are answers that came, or this is an answer that came out of a 11th grade science exam. So if you need to know a little bit about anatomy, prepared to get some science in your head before we get going with all this other stuff. The skeleton is what is left after the insides have been taken out and the outsides have been taken off. The purpose of the skeleton is something to hitch meat to. Now you know a little bit about that. And as they say, if you have a head cold, use an agonizer to spray the nose until it drops in your throat. To keep milk from getting sour, keep it in the cow. And the pistil of a flower is its only protection against insects. Remember, you heard it here. A fossil is an extinct animal. The older it is, the more extinct it is. And to germinate means to become a naturalized German. And a magnet is something you see crawling all over dead cats. So much for the serious stuff. Now, you know our rules of procedure, most of you. Please read your welcome sheet so that you know how we operate here. And our seating priorities are as it says on there, and as we have said many years over. Those people who pay in advance and give us the money to pay all the speakers' hotel room and airplane fare and all the expenses that come on that are ahead of time, get priority seating. And if you see a little tag on a chair, those are people who have paid well in advance for that, and so they have that seat available to them all during the conference as long as they're in it. But after a speaker begins and that seat is empty, then that is open game to anybody who wants to move forward and sit down. So you can please govern yourselves accordingly, but if somebody's sitting in that seat, you know they've paid us a long time ago. Now, also, you probably have not yet, many of you, seen the free literature tables. There's a free table of literature over here and one over here, and you're welcome to pick up whatever is there. The Leading Edge newspaper has its brand new edition out, which is sitting on both tables. That is a paper that they give us 500 or so of them, so we think there'll be enough. Hope there's enough to go around. Take one, or take maybe not more than one to start with until the conference is over, but you're welcome to take them along with whatever other literature is there. They are ardent supporters of ours and print a lot of articles about our speakers. They have an exceptionally good article on the latest Clinton executive order, which I think was 13037 or something to that effect, that you know about, a number of you, and that he finally was pressured into rescinding that. Did you know that? And that was to take all the states' rights away from the states. 13083, it's close enough, but that is there. Now, also, as speakers come on and open it up for questions, or are open for questions, the microphone for questions is over there. Line up there at the microphone if you wish to ask a question. We need to have the question on the tapes and need to have everybody be able to hear it. So no questions out of the audience, but over at the microphone. So all you got to do is get up and use the mic over there, and that's set up exactly for that purpose. All right, Sunday afternoon, our last speaker, I'm having trouble seeing, is Ron Russell in the room? Hello? Okay, he isn't in the room. All right, then is Lauren Garfield here? Okay. On Sunday afternoon, these are some of the speakers. These are the speakers you will hear. They're all Sunday speakers that you'll hear the next 2 or 3. And this, I think you'll find, and it was in Daytona, an enormously accurate modality for your health. Sound therapy, computerized sound therapy. And Lauren Garfield has been a practitioner of that. And with her is maybe her associates. Are they here too? Okay. I'd like to have you come up. The steps are over there. And say a little bit about that. You'll know who she is. They will take appointments and so forth. Also, they were loaded with appointments in Daytona and never got them all done. And the results are quite impressive. So if you will, listen to Lauren. And if you'll use this one, then you can... I think it'll work, but can you crank up her microphone so she can see it all right? Okay. So Lauren Garfield from Ohio, formerly Philadelphia, she escaped.
Thanks, everybody. I have 5 minutes to tell you everything that we have available for you to see while you're here experiencing the conference. I'd like to thank Dean for inviting us back. One of the things we have, and we have a table set up in the very back of the room on the right-hand side with a lot of literature and information, but I wanted to make everybody aware of what we're going to be offering while we're here until we actually do speak on Sunday. What we're doing is bioresonance therapy. I've been joined this time by 3 of my colleagues, Marisol Gonzalez-Sterling from Madrid, Spain, Bill Blue from Canada, and hopefully Carl Parker from Seattle. He's still missing in action, hasn't arrived yet. And we all research and work in bioresonance therapy, and we'll be discussing on Sunday the latest advances we've made in the therapy. We will not be discussing exactly what it's all about, since we did that in Daytona Beach. I have decided to offer, however, a 3-hour conference Sunday or Monday evening, whenever Dean assigns me, on what bioresonance therapy is all about for those of you who are interested in Warren and Daytona Beach, what we're doing, how it works, what we're able to accomplish with it at this point. We are offering also private appointments for people who want to be seen and experience bioresonance therapy, which is taking a voice print, a vocal analysis, converting it to waveform, and using that to gain information on your body about vitamin and mineral deficiencies, bone and muscle injury, most importantly, I think, toxins that you've been exposed to and may not be aware of, and using low-frequency sound wave patterns to communicate information back to your body by resonating vitamin and minerals into use, detoxifying harmful chemicals and metals out of the body, resonating bone and muscles that are injured, and decreasing pain and increasing mobility. We are also offering appointments in holographic repatterning using sound, which has been developed by Rebecca Riley, using bioresonance therapy in conjunction with holographic repatterning. We have a cranial sacral therapy CD by Marisol Gonzalez that she's brought from Spain that helps use this sound to help balance brain waves. She's offering a 6-hour workshop entitled Light, Color, Prisms, and Sound on Tuesday, using prisms with sunlight to direct color directly through the eyes to affect coherence in the energy pattern of the body, using the voice print to measure vocal coherence, something that we attempt to do. We're also very excited to be offering a new magnetic therapy that we just started working with that is actually, I think, balancing and allowing magnetic stability on a cellular level. I started using it in my office on clients 2 months ago. Cholesterol levels are dropping in half in a month, wounds are healing in 3 days, and my diabetics that take pills are coming off their medication, stabilizing. Very important, I think, for the upcoming magnetic shifts that are going to occur, because I think we actually are stabilizing on a cellular level. I'm very excited about this therapy. So we brought information on that and an opportunity for you to pour your drinks through the magnetizer and taste for yourself how it changes composition of things. Removes bitterness from coffee, orange juice, things like that. Bill Blue is back there also and has brought with him a complete schedule of bioresonance therapy training courses being offered here in the United States. Anybody interested in learning how to do this, please see him at his table, pick up his information, and sign up and take a course, because I'm telling you, this therapy really, really helps people. My office is crammed in Philadelphia when I come in to see patients. And we need more practitioners out there, more people doing this. It's fairly easy and inexpensive to learn. Greg and I, this last 6 months, have been working with researchers, resident experts at NASA, who have helped us write the next program, which we think will be ready December or January of this year, because the key to bioresonance therapy is being able to get a waveform pattern that your voice produces and convert it mathematically into something we can measure. So the mathematical computation of that waveform, the more accurate it is, the more accurate the information it gives us about your body. So the waveform we're using now is kindergarten work, and so we went to the experts and said, can you help us write a program that'll give us the most accurate waveform to correlate to the human body. So they've worked with us all summer, and we're partially ready. We need the component pieces now to go with it, and we'll go into production in that probably in January with a cost of about $300 per program, and writing frequencies to CD-ROM. So when you see a practitioner, my time's up. So when you see a practitioner, instead of a tone box, you'll take home a CD-ROM, making it much more affordable and accessible to everyone. And thank you very much. Come back to our table, sign up for the interesting things we have.
Thank you. Is Marisol here? Is she in the room? While we're doing that, I want to mention something else. I would have you think about this a little bit. We're going to do something new this year. Lots of people want to talk to our speakers, and they like to have a private audience. We are arranging as close as possible as we can possibly to that, and that is arranging a private lunch or dinner with a given speaker during the next 4 days. That will cost you $20, and it will be in a private room, and you can buy a ticket for that out at the registration table. Tonight, the tables have been assigned to the following speakers or well-known people, and they are Larry Harris, Dora Lofstrom, who you will hear this afternoon, Clayton Tedeton, and Dolores Cannon, and Al Bielek, and sheets will be available on that out at the registration table during break times. If you want to do that, you can talk more about it out there. All right, it's Danny Casson. Oh, here he is. Okay, he's on Sunday as well, and now you will know who Danny is. If you'll come up now and use this, I'll use this one, I think, and tell them a little bit about yourself. From Duluth, not Duluth, Georgia, but from Blue Ridge, Georgia. Here's Danny Casson.
Okay. Give me the handheld.
You want to use that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Danny Casson, and a little bit about me. I have out-of-body experiences. I see a lot of things in world events, and I was given a lot of messages. I've had at least 4 universities and 2 colleges in our beloved government try to prove me wrong in the messages I've been given. We presently have approximately 250 acres that's going to be a research facility. It's going to be a live-on research facility. We have scientists, physicists, anything that you can think of within this community that can survive. In other words, we will be off the grid. We are getting into hydro, geothermal energy. We're getting into a lot of different areas. This facility is going to help start other facilities within safe zones that I was given to help mankind survive what's to come. I can't explain except God has done this. There's no way, I can't even understand these people when they get together, much less understand the technology they've brought. They're coming from Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Holland, Germany, the United States. You're looking Quebec in Canada. You're looking within Los Angeles, San Francisco. You're looking at so many areas. But when you ask the people, how do you know to come here? Their answer is always the same. In here. I know I've got to be here. No one needs to tell these people what they have to do. They do it. They already know. There's approximately $9.5 million sitting there now. There is approximately 10 acres of park that's lined with nothing but waterfalls. There is a spiritual center. I was always told this facility said this would be built for all people of all races, of all religious beliefs that believe in God, and for all worlds. Not worlds. And it's being built as we speak. I'm not allowed to cover a lot of things that's going on because of security. The technology we have, you cannot believe the database going into this facility to where all these scientists, everyone involved with this project, you couldn't afford to pay them for the knowledge and the technology that they have, and especially what they're downloading. The information going into this facility is for all of you. It doesn't cost you a nickel. If you don't have a solution to a problem, we'll find it. That's what it's about, everyone helping each other, everyone learning. There is some horrible events getting ready to happen. They're happening now. Breaking news. The United States has just attacked Afghanistan in airstrikes and the Sudan. These things is happening. So that means now the smoking gun in Clinton's pants, he's going to get away with it again. These things is here. The technology is here. The people are coming together. This facility going in is going to be the model that's going to be going into all 8 of these safe zones. We have doctors, neurosurgeons, cardiologists, you name it, they're there. They're into alternative medicines, which they've been doing in Europe for years. On the spiritual side, plus on the medical side. We're looking right now, we're in the process of putting together another deal of another group of doctors out of Atlanta that would also like to join us. We're also looking at Steven Seagal with what he has and what he can bring to us, what he can bring to all of you. And this doesn't cost anyone a nickel. It's being done for you. It's being done for everyone. So I'll be here for the workshops. Anyone that wants to talk, we'll talk. If you have questions, if you've got problems, if you want to know more, for God's sakes, you know, all you got to do is ask. So I'm going to quit. Thank you.
Thanks, Danny. Yeah. We were honored to be the first place that he spoke to any group of people at Daytona, and we're honored to have him back. His gifts are something that you'll be very interested in as he gets into them more. Okay, Fritz Springmeier is also with us in Denver for the first time, has been with us in Florida, and his work and his research is prodigious. So if you'll welcome Fritz Springmeier, now this is who he is. You want that one or this one?
Yes, I'll use this. Okay. Thank you very much. We have some fantastic speakers and some fantastic topics. And just like the gentleman that was up here, I have been fascinated by alternative medicine and free energy, and would love to be able to spend my time researching and disseminating information about these type of topics. But I am not. And why am I not doing that? I am focusing on mind control and have been for the last 7 years because I believe that that is the most significant problem facing all of us. When I mention the word mind control, each of you have your own ideas of what that is, and for most of you, you don't understand yet at all what I'm talking about. Last year, there at a preparedness expo, I had a booth, and a gentleman came into the preparedness expo, and he walked by my booth, and he said to his friend, "Oh, there's a dog doo-doo salesman." And his friend came and visited at our booth and came back and told this gentleman, he said, "You have got to go and speak to Fritz Springmeier. You have got to go." And of course this guy didn't want to go. He saw up there on the wall I had this beautiful banner, which has since been stolen, talking about mind control and how we give hope to people and work with them and do therapy and provide information to victims of mind control as well as therapy. But because he respected his friend, he went. And he was absolutely amazed. Once he found out what the information that we had, and he sat and talked about his life, he found out that I had the answers to all the mysteries in his life. All kinds of things had been happening in his life, and he couldn't understand them. He was angry with the system, but he couldn't understand what had been going on in his life, and we gave him the answers. And then he put me up on a pedestal like I was God because I had at last made sense of his life. I sincerely believe that the information I have to give you and the help that Cisco and I have for people is the most important topic. And I am going to try to get out of my mode of being the shy professor who clinically talks about all of this stuff and I'm going to try to speak to you from my heart to your heart. A lot of things have happened since I started exposing the Illuminati, the movers and shakers of the world, and also their mind control. This mind control is able to take a person, totally control every aspect of them, and the person doesn't even know it. And with this power, they are able to create all kinds of agendas that are going on all around us. Now, just before I left for this conference, a man called from an organization which he believes is, or at least they put on the pretenses of fighting the New World Order. He wanted me to join their organization because they've got this great economic plan that's going to stop the New World Order. And he is talking to me like I was a 2-year-old and telling me, Fritz, you think like a victim. You don't know what's going on. You don't know how to fight these people. You need to get on board and support our economic program. And I told this man, I said, there is no economic system, there's no religious system, there's no judicial system, there's no alternative medical system, there's none of these things that are going to work until we understand how they're carrying out mind control and how they're able to subvert all of these positive things that we could use to our benefit. And of course, then he thought that I was the most egotistical person he had ever met when I made that comment. And that was his response. So I also want to communicate to you about my co-author back there, Cisco Wheeler. She grew up in the Illuminati. Some of you have heard of Joseph Mengele, who was a doctor in the concentration camps. The Germans weren't just idly torturing people in the concentration camps. They were doing massive amounts of research into trauma-based total mind control. And Joseph Mengele taught her father and also parts of Cisco how to program. So here we have finally somebody who was on the inside, an insider who knows how the mind control is accomplished, and she is taking what she learned for evil and she is turning that for good. She's teaching, she's healing people, she's taking her knowledge of how to control people and how this mind control is done, and she's turning that into a blessing for all of us. So I strongly encourage all of you to get to know her. We're kind of coming out of the closet. Both of us have been working against the Illuminati for many years, but we've been very low-key. And I don't know. We can't presume on the future. I don't know if I'll ever even get out and give any more public talks like this. And I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm trying to open my heart up, make myself vulnerable. She's opening up, letting you know her story. And so anyway, I just encourage you to stick around until Sunday. And I've used up my time. So you can have the floor back, Dean.
Whoops, I thought I had, oh, here we go. Okay, Fritz reminded me that you, now I don't say that he's one of them, but 4 of our speakers, that you might be interested in the fact that 4 of our speakers have been given very dire threats not to speak at this conference. They will identify themselves if they choose to do so. So that means to me only one thing, that we must be doing something right. And I heard a little something while he was speaking that reminded me that another little item has to be put on our welcome sheets, and it's on the doors too. But please, we're going to have to require that your cellular phones or pagers be turned off while you're in the room here. That can get to be quite disconcerting if a lot of those are used. So please keep that in mind. Saturday and Sunday, 2 members of the British Broadcasting Company will be here, and we'll be covering a number of our speakers and interviewing them and videotaping them. So you may see those men as they arrive here. As we speak now, KHNC, the American Freedom Network, is broadcasting from the room back there over their network. And they will be broadcasting each day and will be interviewing some of our speakers as each day from 1 to 3 o'clock, I believe it is, each afternoon. Now, we're trying it this afternoon as an experiment to see if it bothers a lot of people. As far as I'm concerned, I can't hear it up here, so I don't believe it's a problem. We think that it's probably insulated to the point where it won't bother other people. But if it does, we'll make some other arrangements. But they are getting out the word, and they are will be interviewing a number of our speakers during the next 4 days. So you'll see them back there about all the way back in the middle of the tables. Is Judy Goodman here? Marisol is here. Okay. Marisol Gonzalez Sterling comes to us from Madrid, Spain, and she works in the area also of sound therapy, and this gives us a chance and you a chance to learn, to know her and get acquainted with her a little bit and what she's going to offer here at the conference. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much. I come here from Spain every summer. I do like to do research in the United States, study, as well as teach some of my new contributions in this area. I'm a craniosacral therapist. I'm going to be doing a biosonic cranial course at the end of the month here in Boulder, Colorado, which means craniosacral therapy with sound, with tuning forks, with toning, which is a very powerful technique, both of them together. And here I'll be presenting with the sound therapist what we are discovering, and in my particular area is about coherence, because coherence, when we get into the same frequency in all the body rhythms, only in different octaves, we get to a coherent harmonic waveform, which will boost the healing system. So that part of the research is done also with voice analysis, finding how the voice is portraying the coherent of the whole body when we are really in this coherent harmonic mode, which also depends upon physical, emotional, and spiritual, as you might all know. Then I will be giving a small course, a full-day course on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending upon the light. I think there's no problem with the sunlight here in Colorado, but we need the light because we're going to be treating with prisms through color, and we will know the exact color the person is not assimilating to the system through the voice analysis, and with a very simple method without needing computers. And then we will put that ray of that color from the sun directly through a prism into the eyes, and it's a very powerful technique that was used by the Mayans and the Atlanteans. So it actually brings a complete harmony to the body, mostly in a psychological, emotional, and conscious level, which actually afterwards will affect the physical. So this course will pertain a little bit of voice analysis to know the color that's missing, a little bit of iridology to actually see how the color is also being told in the iris of the eyes, and then we will put the prisms and we will outside in the sun, and we will put that color directly into the eyes. It's not dangerous at all because we don't have ultraviolet light. All the prisms are done of exactly one glass, which doesn't let the ultraviolet light go through. So it's very powerful, but it's not risky in that way. So I'm very happy that everybody is here and we have this chance to meet. And if it's exactly, maybe we're putting it between Tuesday or Wednesday because maybe one day has a better sun than the other day. But preferably we'll do it Wednesday the whole day. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Now, is Judy Goodman or Brian Williams in the room? Here's Brian. Okay, Brian, I want you to meet these two people if you can. I mean, if she shows up. If not, Brian is here, and he will be talking to us Saturday night. And you need to be here and hear what he's got to say, and just get acquainted with him a little bit now. He does readings also and that sort of thing. But here's another gifted individual from a place called New Jersey. Welcome, Brian Williams.
Thank you. My name is Brian Williams, and I'm known as Sargel18. I meet with aliens all the time, and I photograph them, and they give me messages, and I make predictions. You might have saw me on Strange Universe. If you haven't, it'll be on the 29th again here in Colorado. They call me the UFO Prophet. I last spoke in Daytona, February, I believe, 23rd. I had just met with the Endorian aliens face-to-face in a major vortex in Wanacue, New Jersey. And at that point, I had about, I believe, 15 pictures to show you. Since then, I shot over 12,700 pictures of these type of aliens. Thank you. These type of aliens, Endorians, which are lizards. I photographed the horsemen of the apocalypse riding unicorns, and I'm going to show you what they look like. 12-foot tall insect aliens, little tiny crab-like insect aliens with the heads of Power Rangers. Angels. Let me see, what was under the bed when you were young and you were scared and in the closet? You know, all those things. All those things. And a lot of good things, too. You have New World Order, Illuminati. You have the power governments. You have the war in Afghanistan going on. You have safe zones and all that other stuff, right? But in order to get through what's coming up in the next couple years, we're going to have to go through what I've come to find out is called revelation, which is revealing the truth. Revelation, then will come chaos, of course, and culture shock. Then it'll all balance out afterwards, which I believe is around the year 2011. The problem with me is I had my own television show in Europe, and it's been canceled before it even got off the ground. Why was it canceled? They told me, they said, we can't sleep because of you. You weren't supposed to go out and get the evidence. I said, but that's what you asked me to do. They said, yeah, and we sent our people from Zurich, and they came out and they shot 12 pictures in the vortex, and they came back with some of the most fantastic stuff they could ever see, regular cameras. And they're like, why don't you just throw your evidence away and we'll put you on TV? And I'm like, wow, well, that's pretty lucrative. I go, but, you know, I'm supposed to do this stuff. I'm supposed to show you the evidence. And they're like, well, we can't have that on television. So we're not going to do the show. So that went out. We're still working on a show here in the United States with actually Gillian Anderson, hopefully, if things work out. But the problem is I can back up what I say. I can back up my predictions. I can back up what's in my book, Alien Agenda, Prophecies for the Millennial and Beyond, which is now back there on disc because no one will publish it. I've been turned down. Fantastic abilities to predict, tremendous evidence, but not credible enough to make these statements in this book. My statements aren't much different than anybody else's. You know, earth changes, aliens, earthquakes, and things like that. Only problem is I'm backing them up. Now I have the ability to open vortexes wherever I go. I carry this with me. I can bend time. I'm part of the Montauk Project. You can ask Mr. Belloc about that, wherever he is. I came through this project in 1959. My spirit and 17 others is why I call myself Sargel18. So wherever I go, I can bend time, and I can allow you, with your cameras of any type that you have, to photograph astral beings, light beings, nice things, not bad things. Now, when I was out here in June, we opened the vortex in El Dorado Canyon, was it, Mike? El Dorado Springs, and where was the other place? Fort Collins. Horsetooth. Regular people came, brought any kind of camera, I think even a couple 7-Eleven disposables. They took pictures. The pictures, some of them that are now coming in now that I'm back here, are on the wall back there by my table, and you'll see some of the fantastic shots of energy beings, traveling lights, Merkaba vehicles, and that regular people here took. And we're going to open up the vortex again on Tuesday night for people that want to sign up. Pick anywhere you want. Doesn't matter. We're going to open it right in this room when I do my lecture. I'm going to shoot the aliens right in this room and show you what's sitting right next to you and around you. Okay, this will be on Saturday night. And we're going to put it right up on the TV. Now, I'm using digital cameras, but as I said, it doesn't matter. Any camera. As long as I say open, it opens. I made a prediction. I predicted a lot of things. Flight 800, when the Israeli prime minister would be assassinated, comets that hit Greenland, a bunch of other stuff. And I also made a big prediction everybody's kind of worried about, which is August 24th, 1998 is the day the East Coast will rue. Now, they said 3.5 years ago, I worked for Defense Intelligence as a remote viewer in world pharmaceutical companies and world banking. They used to have me go in and read people. I think you guys probably know that, most of you. And 3.5 years ago, DI asked Devron, which is this energy that I channel, where will your channel be on August 24th, 1998? Devron, and Devron said our channel will be in Colorado. Well, here I am in Colorado. And up to last February, where Dean asked me to come here, I would never have been here. So on Saturday night, 2 days ago at Mike's house, where I stayed for the last week, Devron downloaded why I'm in Colorado and what's going to happen on the 24th. And I'm going to talk to you about that on Saturday night. Then we're going to have a workshop, and I'm going to show you over 200 pictures taken of alien astral beings coming into our dimension in the hundreds and the thousands, not just shot by me, but shot by Telequa, another gentleman named Vinny, Tommy Hawksblood, who does most of the field research with me, and we're going to show you what these beings are. Now, why am I showing you? I'm not really trying to scare you. I'm just telling you they're there. At that point, once you see this evidence, you make your own decision, what you believe, what you think is real, what you think is not real. It's only up to me to show you. But as I said, or as Dina said, a couple of us have been threatened, including myself. The only problem with my mission is that they give me a tremendous amount of validity. I can get evidence anytime I want. So what happens? I'm threatened by NASA. And they send me a letter with it traced right back to them, like they don't even care. Right from Goddard Space Center, and it's called the Laboratory for Extraterrestrial Physics, NASA Goddard Space Center. And this was sent by their top people to stop. You cannot change what's going on. I will read the letter on Saturday night, word for word. I won't tell you who sent it, but he put his name on it too. So validity, and that's what I'm about. And that's why we're having a lot of trouble getting out on television and with the book, because they don't want you to have the evidence. You can't have somebody up there making statements and then backing it up, because that'll cause a real problem. So I hope I see you guys on Saturday night. We're going to shoot the aliens in here. We'll have some fun with that. And I hope you come on back and visit us at the table and see the pictures. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ron. All right. Is Judy Goodman in the room yet? Or Ron Russell? Have they showed up? Okay. Then we want to get right along with our next subject.